The City of Calgary is set to see continued growth in 2025, with more people arriving and more homes being built. But when it comes to ensuring new neighborhoods are being built prioritizing fire safety, Fire Chief Steve Dongworth says it's a losing battle.
You do run across some vested interests when you start to try and change those things. And I understand it, right? Whether it's the development industry, the building industry, the folks who make siding, the folks who make lumber, you have a fair bit of resistance to change in those areas because they all have cost impacts, and I guess it's about finding the right balance. But there's no doubt in legacy communities where it's still the houses that were there 50 years ago, where you have dimensional lumber, you have a bit of space between homes. Very rarely do you get spread from house to house, whereas you go to some of these new communities and it's exceptional if we don't at least have significant damage to the adjacent properties, and often they're destroyed, and it goes further than that sometimes. We've had like 5 homes lost in what was a single house fire because of new styles of construction, the density. And I'm not against density, by the way, when I say that. It just has implications for us. It makes sense to densify in terms of provision of service, including the fire service, but it definitely does, it forces smaller lots, buildings being closer together, with some flammable and many combustible kind of materials making up those homes.
He urges Calgarians to be aware of all fire risks, including the risk of lithium-ion batteries, which are becoming more of an issue.
Be careful with them if they're damaged. Don't overcharge them. Make sure they have lots of air around them when they're charging. And when you replace them, don't be tempted to buy cheap products from online services that aren't certified, because those things I mentioned are the things that really cause problems with them.
In 2025, the Calgary Fire Department is prepared to create even more connections with Calgarians. We'll dive into that and more on our City News Connect special looking ahead to 2025, airing this Sunday at 7. For City News, I'm Jillian Code.